There we go. Hopefully you can hear me now. Thanks everyone for coming along. Whether you're watching back or watching live. Sorry about the change there. Let's have a look. I'm just going to sort out my audio here. Just jumped on watching the F1 quali. I won't give any spoilers in case you guys haven't seen it yet. F1 at Suzuka. I think all of the audio should be all right. I'm just going to switch scenes for just 1 second. This is what you get when you're in a rush, isn't it? This is what you get. But yeah, so just a bit of a weird one here. I had a free morning, so I thought I'd get some practice in at the Nürburgring for the Nürburgring 24-hour race, which isn't for a while yet. It's in May. But nonetheless, every little bit of practice helps, and I want to get a setup sorted so that when we do start practicing, say we, because obviously it's a team event, we know what we want. So, I've still got an RKTCC thing on there. There we go. How do we get rid of that? There we go. I'll get my heart rate up for you guys as well. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit rushed this morning. Just because, like I said, I've just been watching the F1 quali. But we will find the session then. So if you guys want to join, it's open. If you have the password. So I don't want all and sundry coming along. But if you're watching this along, you should be able to find it here. This is the one, Damien Cross N24. Click on there. And for the actual race, the Falcons will be using the Porsche Cayman. So we'll use that. But all GT4 cars are in here. And the password, as you can see, if I switch here at the bottom of the screen, DC24. So we'll head into that. But yeah, thank you for keeping an eye on things, coming to see me with my Trace HQ t-shirt. Thank you to everyone, of course, who's done the cross-car challenge this year so far. Lots of time still to get your lap time in. Not sure about that, just search for cross-car challenge on my channel. Prizes on offer from Verano Motorsport, so that's quite cool. Really good prizes actually this year. And we'll head into the session. I think Fleming, who's one of the other drivers that'll be on the team for the actual N24, Nürburgring 24, he'll be joining us in a bit. So my first job when I get into the session is to load the setups that I want to test. Put some of those into the shared folder so that he can get access to them as well. Anyway, let's switch back to the paddles. I say the paddles just because this is the setup I have when I use paddles rather than a manual shift, which I don't do very often, as you probably know. Yeah, we'll get into the session. No racing today, so if you come along to watch me race, you're going to be disappointed. There's only so much I can entertain you with races. I need to get practice in as well. So yeah, we're just going to be cruising around, trying to help me get quicker and quicker and quicker. But mainly it's about, I guess, learning setups, making sure that our strategy is going to be right. I think it's a nailed on 7 lap stint. You can't really save to get an 8th lap. You just can't. It's just such a long lap. Because this obviously is the combined circuit as well, so it's not even just the Nordschleife. You've got the Nordschleife and the GP circuit, although the N24 layout has a bit of a strange turn 1, turn 2. But yeah, so we're just kind of putting the hours in. That's all you can really do. I think I'll do everything I can to sort of take the lead on all that and take the strain off my teammates. And then, like I say, if we can get a setup sorted that they're happy with, that I'm happy with, then they don't have to worry about it. So when I get into this session, I can add the setups to the shared garage, because we use Garage 61 or Garage 61. Helps us all to see what each other's doing. We can look at each other's telemetries. We can overlay each other's laps, see what gears people are in, what lines people took when they got on the throttle, what their steering inputs, all that kind of thing. Which is great if you're kind of racing somewhere like Alton Park. Nürburgring is really tricky. There's so much to go through. You'll also see, obviously I'm going through a lot of experimenting at the moment with my streaming, that I've got the computer performance there. I've got my system settings set to max out at 119. So if you see that, just not... hang on. There we go. So if you see that at 119, it means that's me restricting it to that. Occasionally you see the P spikes, but that's nothing unusual. We're hoping we don't see any big spikes and jittering while we're driving on track. If there's a bit of stuttering on the camera, hopefully you guys are okay with that. My priority is always going to be the driving and make sure that that flows okay. So again, another couple of little tweaks to the camera settings, how it interacts with my PC. I need your feedback, if you can, in the comments. I'll watch this back as well, just to see how smooth this is. See if there's any stuttering, because when I filmed the recent GT4 race at Zandvoort, watched it back, I thought everything went really smoothly because the sim ran perfectly, but then I watched it back and realised there was some stuttering on the camera. I've changed how the camera goes into the PC now, so that might solve that. But yeah, anyway, let's get these setups. So this is the DC N24 Draft Race 4 laps, which is a bit of a mouthful. Before I do that, I think my graphics look weird. So that's a massive screen there, isn't it? Graphic, we'll change the UI. Does yours do this as well? Just randomly changes. I'm not worried about giving away any confidential information, because although this is the setup that we're going to be using on this front screen, you can only see tyre pressures there anyway. So I will save that into the Falcons, Vipers, Scorpions as DC Falcons. Hey, BB, you coming in, mate? I think Fleming's going to be joining me, so that's quite good. I'm hoping BB is going to be one of the drivers that's going to actually be in this car with me for the N24. We'll see. Hopefully that's the case. So I'll save that as a 7 lap. And then, obviously, if you want more laps, you can just change that. So what I'm going to do quickly is just... because I don't want to give too much away. I will change that for a full stint as well and save that as a 7 lapper. Yes, hosted, mate. Full stint. Save that. The quali version. So I'm afraid you guys can't see this because I don't want to give this part of it away. So the password, BB, if you want to find Damien Cross, if you search for Damien Cross on the hosted, you'll see it there. And the password is just capital D, capital C, 24, DC24. Right. I'll bring you guys back on board so you can see what's going on. Hello. So, they're now in the shared setups, I believe. If I go to my setups, there's then this folder here, and there's a quali, a full stint, and a 4-lap stint. I'm going to start off by going out with 4-lap stints. But later on, I'll do a full stint. I'm going to hop on. Oh, good. Yeah, I don't want to give too many spoilers away if people haven't seen it. But yeah, seeing those cars drive around, it's good to see the ones. You can see the ones that use simulators a bit when they cross the finish line and they dart straight for it. They don't try and take the line of least resistance. They go, no, I want the shortest possible run to the line. The likes of Max and Lando and Charles doing that, and then other people just like, taking a normal race line. Right, so I've got a 4-lap stint. In the longest setup name ever, Damien Cross Falcons Vipers Scorpions / DC Falcons N24 Draft Race 4 laps. Let's head out and actually do some driving. So this is the Cayman. This is what we're going to be using as the Falcons car. I've not got a Falcons livery on it because this is a hosted session, and for some reason you can't have teams. In a hosted session, you can only have individuals. BB. Okay, so when if you're watching along, if I get out the car again, when you're in here, if you go to Garage, and then at the top right, there's My Setups. When you go in there, you'll see there's a folder because you've signed up for the Garage 61, Damien Cross Falcons Vipers Scorpions. If you go in there, there are a few in there. Okay, so feel free to try these two. I'll be using the ones that say DC Falcons. Like I say, I'm going out on a 4-lap one now, but if you want to do full stint or quali, feel free. I think these two, because I got those off Garage 61 from people that have done quick times. I think these two, this one is a quali, and this one's the best race from what I can make out. So when you see R, that's generally race. So they were available and free to use on Garage 61, so I kind of took those two. There we go. So I'm on my own at the moment. I'm going to head out on track. I'll try and keep an eye on chat. Go out on cold tyres. I'm going to put my all-time best lap up as well. Because the track temperatures today I've set quite low, so we should have a chance of beating that. I'm not going to do anything to brake balance. This is the brake balance that this setup has got. Normally I drop the brake balance when I get in a GT4 car, but that's usually because it's a fixed setup. If I start this engine, you can hear that, can't you? It looks like you can hear that. I might turn it up a little bit. Alright, let's go.
Pit lane speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. It exit is clear. Don't cross the line.
So start off on a GP loop, but we cut this bit out here. And this is why this track is just so long. And you'll see at the bottom there, my all-time best lap is 8:49. I was on a lap the other day, which was going to dip just below 8:48, but I stuffed it up at the second carousel. So I really want to bank a lap, which is around that sort of region. This is just my out lap. But I'm going to show you guys a neat trick. So you don't have to do a full out lap. If you want to do a qualifying simulation, for example, and you want to simulate what the tyres are going to be like as you start your qualifying run, then there's a way of getting the car to reset to the correct place without having to do the full lap. You don't want to have to get all the way around to the Dottinger. So I would only ever do this in a hosted session or if in practice on my own, because it's a bit rude for other people on track if you get in their way. But I'll just show you that. As I'm coming around here, obviously this is where you would then go and join the Nordschleife by turning left. But if we continue along the GP track, oh no, I've made a big mistake. I better stop here. I'm then at the end of the lap. So if I reset from here, it takes me to the start of the Dottinger. So it's only taking me 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes to get round here, rather than 9 minutes. So the car's now been reset to its state that I had it in the garage, and we can do a qualifying lap. Yeah, if you don't mind, Burke, might as well. So although this is a race setup, rather than a qualifying setup, this is a 4-lap race setup. I thought I'd just show you that before we start, and it also means I can get straight onto the into setting some lap times. The tyres will still be a lot colder than they will be at the end of a lap, but they'll be a bit fresher as well, which is a bit more like quali. So the only difference between this and an actual quali setup is the fact that I've got different fuel load on. So I say, if you want to join me, just search for Damien Cross, you should find it, and the password capital D, capital C24, just DC24. It's a 3-hour session. You'll need the Nords Combined tracks, and you'll need a GT4 car. Now last year I did this with Verano Motorsport in the Aston Martin. I prefer the Porsche. Especially on the colder tyres, the Aston was such a handful at the back and unpredictable. And even during the Nürburgring Endurance Championship, 4-hour races, I got caught out a few times on cold tyres in that car. So on this first lap, I'm having to go a bit cautious around here. Can't quite get this flat out, for example. So I'm going to be losing a little bit of time all the way around the lap compared to my best ever. But hopefully on lap 2 we'll be a bit better. I see BB's now joined the track. I don't know what setup he'll be on. But whereas I know this combination quite well, GT4, the Nordschleife, I think for Baruch and Fleming, maybe it's more of a discovery. What gears to be in, all that kind of stuff, what kind of speed you can take, how the car feels. So I see Fleming's just joined. So this hopefully, at the moment, is the 3 drivers out of, I'm hoping 4 or 5 to be confirmed, that will take part in this car as the Damien Cross Falcons. So there are spaces on the team up for grabs for people who fancy it and are happy to, you know, put in the time and effort. BB may have done the trick because he's no longer shown as being on an outlap. Oh, there's an off track there, okay. Wow, I only just touched that grass and that counted as an off track, so I'm still feeling like this is an outlap for me though. So I'm not too worried. Just because the tyres won't be up to temperature. I see Fleming's now in the pits, so he's about to join the track. So if you guys aren't sure who Fleming and Baruch are, you can find them on YouTube. Baruch is BB Racing, and Fleming is F. Jensen. I'll keep it in 5th gear here. If you're in a tow, you may need 6th gear, but 90% of the time you're coming along here, you just stay in 5th. Even with low fuel, when the rev limiter's kicking in, still quicker to stay in 5th, weirdly. So once again, thanks everyone for coming along and watching what is basically a test session on a Saturday morning after watching the F1 quali. Never off track, but like I say, this is really my outlap. I know there's a lot of hype at the moment about the Nürburgring on a different simulator, but for me there's only one, it's iRacing. So that's where we'll be doing the Nürburgring 24 this year. Hi, Adam. What time's dinner? This session lasts for 3 hours, buddy, so as long as you get your dinner before that. Right, we're going to get time on the board. But with a couple of off tracks, it doesn't really count, does it? Cheating. Been cheating. See if we get round now. Hopefully I'll have just over 3 laps of fuel on board when I get to the end. And start to do a bit quicker. Then what I'll probably do is switch it to session best lap so it's actually relevant. You're eating out, are you alright then? You've got plenty of time. I'll only have done 1 lap by the time you get here then. I'll switch this to session best lap. So across the line and an 8:52.7.
Your quickest overall.
At least now the delta's relevant because it's comparing to what we just did. But I think because it was an invalid lap, it might just be doing sector by sector. It doesn't really matter because it was all that 1 lap, but I'm not sure how it works when you've done an invalid lap. But yeah, if you want to join, of course, password DC24, capital letters DC, number 24. Yeah, see, now I've done a lap on these tyres, I can get round that corner, that chicane, the fast chicane, flat out. I scrub off as little speed as possible around this one, but I want to be over the right hand side, so I don't want to use all the track over there. Really easy to get an off track around that bit, so I always play it a little bit safer than I need to. And then this corner is one where I always seem to be slower than other people. Maybe I should just keep it in 3rd, I don't know. That's why we're here testing, isn't it? I haven't actually mapped a radio button for some reason. Oh, it's probably because I had to reassign the buttons on OBS for my speaker and my audio output. So I'm guessing because I've been fiddling around with the way that the camera goes into the computer, I've moved where some of the USB slots are, and so it doesn't know what my radio is. I need to retell it that. So when we come into the pits at the end of this stint, I'll do that, and I can speak to BB and Fleming then as well. So Adam, I know you're watching along, having a nice bit of food. Unfortunately, you won't have access to the same setups as me and Fleming, because they're 4 the Falcons, Vipers and Scorpions team at Damien Cross Racing. So if you rock up and go quicker than us, we want to know what setup you're on. We're nicely spaced out at the moment. Fleming's on his outlap, 2 minutes in front of me, so he's doing the whole outlap. Baruch's 3 minutes behind me. And this is kind of what it's like during a race. In a 24-hour race, you end up, although there's going to be loads of people on track, like 60-odd people on track, I think. You do find yourselves in little pockets of space, even on a multi-class race. Because the top two classes, the Porsche Cup and the GT3, aren't too dissimilar in pace. So they kind of go round relative to the GT4s at the same sort of pace. And then last year, the split that we were in, although we had a lower strength of field, didn't have any TCRs or GR86s in it. Now, by rabbiting onto you guys, I've lost a bit of time there, but let's see if we can make that up. So remember that delta was the previous lap that we just did, and at this point on the lap, on your out lap, the tyres are really good. So that's why I was really quick around there last lap. If you're watching along and waiting for the race, there isn't actually going to be a race today. I'm sorry to disappoint. Literally just a test session where you can come along, join us on track. So it's me, Fleming and Baruch here now. It's a hosted session, but you're all free to come along with the password DC24, capital D, capital C, 24. You'll need a GT4 car, and you'll need the Gesamtstrecke 24-hour circuit layout, which is in the Nords Combined. There we go, third gear at the carousel, I think. Slightly quicker than second gear, when the tyres are okay. And now you see my delta's gone, because it must have been round here that around this sector where I got an off track, so it doesn't know what my sector time was. Looks like I've got purple for me in that sector anyway. Although I was going around it unaided by my delta. Oh, that hurt the car. Landed pretty heavy there. Hopefully I haven't damaged the car there. See if we end up losing any time down the Dottinger. Bit of understeer there. Okay, bear that in mind on our next lap. I have to turn in slightly earlier. Get pins and needles. A lot of vibration on this track. I tend to have my on my Simucube too. I tend to have that set so I feel every little bump. But going along this Dottinger, for example, it's very... I feel everything, which is great, but it does give me pins and needles. Luckily, the straight's long enough to have a bit of a reset, get blood where it needs to be. In a 24-hour race, I might have to think about changing my settings a bit. Depends how many drivers we have, depends on how many laps we each do, of course. Right, so I think that was a clean lap. I'll get that on the board, around an 8:50, I think. We'll see. So 8:50.4.
Your quickest overall. The lap time was at 8:50.5.
It says discontinuity, so I'm not sure it will count as a lap either. A bit greedy with my speed through there. It cost me a 10th. I was a 10th up at one point, but then I lost 2 tenths, so overall...
Okay, Damo, you've used half your fuel.
Not great. There we go. So this was a 4-lap stint. We are 2 laps into it. So lower fuel hopefully means a little bit of extra speed. No, that's me crashing. That's me crashing. Oh, nearly rolled it in the gravel. Right. What I'm going to actually do is get the radio on. So I'll turn this off. If I go to option, I think it is, isn't it? No. Is it under sound? Oh yeah, there we go. So it shows disconnected. I'll just see where the other two are. So if I go live, Baruch's, he's on a tricky part of the track. And it's always a tricky part of the track everywhere though, isn't it? So I won't talk to them just yet. Trying to figure out where Fleming is. I think he's coming up to the long uphill. No, he's not. He's coming down there. Okay. Adam's here. Good to see you, Adam.
You could talk to me, I just crashed.
Oh, okay. Alright, BB. What setup are you guys running? Let's see what BB did. We can learn from his mistakes that we will.
I'm trying out the VRS race.
Okay, so he's on VRS. Cool, cheers. Okay, so that's where I thought I'd damaged the car. And then he just... Okay, the rear end just slit up there. But he's on a different setup to me, so I don't want that to affect us too much. Right, we'll head out again. He's perhaps going to pit.
Pit exit's clear.
So those only 50 seconds behind. I don't think he'll catch us.
It's weird, I did it flat on the first time I went through there, but the second time it just didn't work.
A little bit of a different state of the car in terms of oscillation on the suspension or something can just mean you've got less grip sometimes. Oh, I've got a lot less grip around there on my cold tyres. Right, so let's get some heat back in these tyres now after being in the pits. If anyone watching along is able to leave a comment about whether there's any stuttering or anything on the stream, please do. Whether there is or whether there isn't, it's handy to know. Okay, Adam's opted for a BMW, so this is going to be interesting. Nice to have a different car on track. We're not expecting any rain during the Nürburgring 24. You're right, Adam. Nice easy split for us now, Adam. Yeah, we're not expecting rain. The cars that are lined up for it, GT4 pickup cars, and the TCRs aren't rain ready yet. It's unlikely they're going to get that sorted, or even want to get that sorted before the actual race. So hopefully it will be a dry race. Maybe the last year of it being a dry race. Nice to have you here, Adam. But yeah, if you guys want to join, like I said, password is DC24, capital D, capital C24. It's in the description for this video. Oh, and I've got to stop talking to you guys while I'm doing that. Lol. Again. That was good, wasn't it? We'll try again. I do know how to do that corner, I promise. BB, if you see loads of tyre marks that go off into the gravel, that was a tourist that turned up.
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone.
Good man. That reset has obviously meant the tyres are cold again now, so I'm just having to be a bit more careful. But actually seeing that the delta means being a bit more careful is actually working out quite well for me in terms of lap time.
So feedback so far on the VRS setup, it definitely feels a bit loose.
Okay.
But at the same time, it feels like it's easy to catch.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Good to know, mate. Good to know. How old are your tyres at the moment? Have you done like a full out lap, or is it just on cold tyres still?
No, it feels like the tires come up to temperature pretty quick, actually.
Cool. Cool, cheers. That was third gear around the carousel that time, and I think that does suit me. I think dropping down to second just makes the car a bit too fidgety. Just touch that curb on the inside right now and it bring me a little bit offline. But this is why we practice though, we just want to know every single curb as best we can. Which ones you can use, which ones you can't, which ones help. Because some of these curbs help you to stay on track because of the angle that they're at. But if you hit them just wrong, they can launch the car in the air. So a bit gentler through there this time. Just a really gentle dab of the brakes as I went over that crest, just to keep the front end of the car down. Turning in slightly earlier into these corners this time because we understeered there last time. Grab a drink as we're on the Dottinger. Time to have a drink, reflect on life, write a novel. Okay, so hopefully the next lap will be clean. No off tracks, no abnormality by discontinuity, no packet losses, nothing like that. So I'll try and do that without it being really slow. A good run out of that corner, so get a good run over the line. Try not to overdo it around this first sector. Nice and cautious around there. Lost only a 10th. Nice late apex here. Really slight lift there. Wasn't enough. Try and keep it out of the wall.
Mind these track limits, please, Damo.
So even a tiny little lift there wasn't enough. Need to be lifting slightly more. Or get my line a bit better. So often it's the Grand Prix loop that ruins your lap. I think when you get into the Nordschleife, you kind of get into a rhythm of staying in between the curbs and just bumbling along, whereas out here in a Grand Prix loop, it's easy to just take a bit too much speed into a corner. We're over 3/4 of an hour into this session now, and only me and Damien have put a time on the board so far. But I believe everybody is now on their is now on a hot lap, if you like. They're not on an out lap. Let me just dip below 9 minutes, that's good to see. Too much curb on the inside there. Bit of a blind corner that one, that downhill. Be interesting when Adam completes a lap to see what sort of times he's doing in the BMW. No, you don't. Tricky part of the section, tricky part of the track here. So a little dab of the brakes there, just to keep the front end down. And when I say dab of the brakes, I mean just literally tiny little dab, and that's where Baruch lost it. Nearly just lost it, same place as you, BB.
Which time?
Not sure what he said there. Quite quiet, isn't he, BB? Right, time for a drink. Oh, look at that. I have binned it before I even started the lap. Right. Let's try a quali setup. If I go to my setups, give that a go and see how we do. So I'm going to head out. And
looks like you're clear on the pit exit.
Park at the start of the Dottinger as if it's a quali lap and then reset the car. Well, that's embarrassing. No clutch to be able to spin it round. I'm pulling away from BB, so he must have had an issue there. Getting them all out of our system before the big race. So at the moment, just getting around this lap to get to that point where I can reset it, bearing in mind that Fleming's 2 minutes behind, so we don't want to jeopardise his lap. So this is where we do the cut through. But Fleming will be around here somewhere, so I've got to keep an eye out for him. Adam's just put a time in. Fleming's 22 seconds behind, so we've got time to pull out on the track and then reset. There we go, so he's now in front of us by 30 seconds. Let's do a quali session. I'm just resting my foot on the brake a little bit, try and get a little bit of heat into the tyres. Into the brakes first, and then it seeps into the tyre.
The guy behind has just done a 8:55.4.
Lemon's getting quicker. I'm not sure what setup he's on, and I'm not sure if his radio's working because he's not actually come onto the radio yet. Right, let's set a banker lap and then we'll set a hot lap. Guys in front are far enough away that they're not going to interfere with my laps. That's good. Just giving everything a bit of a wide berth on this banker lap. While the tyres are cold, I'll push harder towards the end of it and make that time up. Feel the tyres are starting to work for me a bit better now. A lot of the time around these corners you'll see me use just a tiny little bit of brake. That's not because I'm trying to slow the car down. It's more about just making sure the weight is at the front of the car so the front tyres can turn in. I'm basically using the brake to get the grip to the tyres that I need to grip, not to slow the car down. I don't want to be slowing the car down. I know I can get around a corner at a certain speed, but only if the front tyres are gripped up. slow round there. Couldn't quite get to the apex. It's going to cost me all the way down this straight. No, I still want 5th. Even on low fuel. So again there, the brake wasn't really trying to slow the car down. It was just about trying to make sure I had the weight of the car on the front tyres. Oh, hit the inside curb there, it's no good. Cost me a lot of time. Tried to keep it too low, ended up hitting the inside curb. But no off track. So if this was a proper qualifying session, we're still okay.
Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace.
Slight lift over that crest because that's where both BB and I have had problems. The BB's on a 9-minute lap, good to see. Bit of understeer there coming onto the Dottinger. Adam's in the pits. Fleming's just putting an 8:57, so I think he probably lost a bit of time on that lap somewhere. I know you guys can't see that, so I'm just trying to keep you guys posted about what lap times are coming in. At the moment, I've got an 8:50, Fleming's got an 8:55, Burrock's got a 9-minute, and Adam has got a 9:01. Well, here we go then. So this is hot lap in quali. Watch me mess it up.
That puts you 3.5 seconds ahead of P2. Okay, Damo, we're running on fumes, mate. Hit this lap, in this lap.
I will not be pitting this lap. I want to get a lap time in. I've got to be a bit more confident around the start of this lap because I am losing time. Yeah, needed a really gentle lift there. For some reason I can't get around that flat out. Getting a lot of understeer in the car now, and I wonder if that's due to the fuel load. The fuel tank on this car will be near the front of the car, because I'm sure they have a refill nozzle on the front wing. I'm just wondering whether the lack of weight over the front end is what's making it tricky to turn in. Doesn't seem to be as much bite at the front. Because the overall weight of the car is obviously lower, you know, just less mass to move around, so acceleration and stuff's okay. It's just have to be patient with the front of the car.
Sector 1 time was good.
No worries, BB. Thanks for popping along, mate. Hopefully you've earned a little bit there. Thanks for trying a VRS setup as well, mate. I might give it a run later in the session. No, you don't. Okie dokie, mate. Good to know. I'm sort of struggling with the front end of this car on this setup. So maybe if that VRS one's a bit bad at the back, maybe there's a middle ground we can find. Gotcha. Well, that was rubbish. I'm not sure about that, baby. I'm sure you're perfectly capable of knowing whether it's the front or the back that's playing up. Oh, there's an off track. Right, gotcha, BB. Yeah, maybe. I don't find, in this setup that I've got here, I don't think it's too bad on the brakes. To be honest, I'm being really gentle on the brakes. Well, I say that. Maybe I'm not. Where am I going? It's because I know I've got an off track on this lap and it doesn't count. So I'll have another go. We'll get to the start of the Dottinger and we'll do another qualifying run. But I think the front end isn't great. So if we stop here, where is everybody? Fleming's not too far behind, but it will be alright. Right. Hopefully that's reset the fuel, I'm not sure. We'll see when we cross the line, because my fuel doesn't update there, and I can't see the dash on my... Because my field of view, I like to be so immersed in the car, exactly where I expect things to be, I can't actually see the dashboard very well. At all. We'll see when we cross the line, how much fuel we've got. Actually, if I should be able to see it on my... Yes, so I have got fuel on board, I can see on my black box. So, cold tyres again now.
Very little fuel left. This lap, in this lap.
I've still got 2 laps of fuel on board. Jim's just getting nervous. Okay, a bit more confident around there. It's helped me keep the time up on these cold tyres. Right, so Fleming's a bit of a benchmark. Fleming's 23.5 seconds behind. And he's probably on warmer tyres. So I've pulled half a second, nearly a second on Fleming already. So despite him having warmer tyres, I think this lower fuel load might be good. Bloody understeer though. I think we're going to have to do something to the setup to tame that understeer when the fuel load's gone. So the qualifying setup is basically pretty much the race setup with very little fuel on, but that's not working. We need something to stop that understeer. I don't want to just put fuel back in a car because then obviously it's heavier. So there must be something we could do with suspension. Overall, the car feels nice and quick, as you can see from the Delta, but it could definitely be quicker. Without that understeer problem. Oh, what am I doing? I preempted understeer and it didn't come. So I ended up turning too well into the corner. Right, we're still up on this lap. Anyone watching along who fancies joining us, you can do. It's a hosted session. You just need to find Damien Cross in the hosted sessions. If you've got a GT4 car and you've got the Nürburgring Combined circuits, you can come along. Password is DC24, capital D, capital C, and the number 24, just DC24. That's the password for you. You can join us on track. So far we've had Baruch's been in and gone. Fleming and Adam are still here. And we're just trying different setups, basically. But basically, think of it as an open pit lane track day for GT4 cars at the 24-hour layout of the Nürburgring. And feel free to come along. Every different way of getting around a carousel feels like the wrong way. Feels like it's the slowest way. But then, you know, the stopwatch doesn't lie, does it? It's one of those corners like Sunset at Sebring, where every time you go around it you think, I've done that wrong. But there isn't really a right way. Struggling around this section. Whoa. I think that was a clean lap, wasn't it? It felt like a clean lap. Time for a drink, and I think I've got enough fuel for another lap. In theory. But this next one, the car is going to be as light as it's possibly going to be. But the trouble is, I think, yeah, that weight has gone out of the front, and so I've got to be really mindful of trying to keep some weight on the front into and out of corners. Right, will we have enough fuel for one more lap? Yeah, it looks like it.
That was 8:49.3 seconds.
Okay, so we're now trying to beat that lap. The delta you'll see there is against that lap. Always looking for a nice late apex around that one. It's a much longer corner than you think it is. I managed to keep a bit more speed up there. The front end was behaving a bit better than I thought. Cedric's here. Nice to see you, Cedric. Wonder what car Cedric's going to bring to the table. So obviously all three of us, Damien Cross Falcons drivers, we are in the car that we're going to use for the N24. Just this Cayman. Adam's turned up in a BMW. So we're slightly up at the moment, but pretty much the same lap time at this point. Able to carry a bit more speed into that one this time. That's good. Oh, Adam's gone ahead of BB. Nice work, Adam. 9-minute laps. Stunning, mate. Well done. So yeah, a few minutes into this lap now, we're basically the same lap time as the previous lap to the nearest 100th of a second. Whereas here I made a mistake last lap, wasn't it? Yes, I've gained some time there. Bit scrappy there. Not the best exit there either. Okay, I'm starting to throw it away. I don't know if I've just not got that front end again. Just not pushing hard enough, maybe. Right, Cedric's in a Mercedes. Let's just start this out lap. So about halfway through the session now. Still got an hour and a half to go if you guys want to join. Password is in the description. That's going to cost me a bit of time, isn't it? Well, lost 6/10 in this sector now. Due to that slide. At least we didn't bin it. There's still a chance we can go a bit quicker on this lap.
Sector 2 time was good.
Hello Barry, how you doing, mate? You gonna join us? I suppose you're in Road America mode at the moment though, aren't you? So Barry's one of the drivers. He'll be racing at Road America this weekend in the GT Endurance Series for the Damien Cross Falcons. Ah, there's an off track. Okay, so that's an invalid lap. And a slow down.
Track limits there.
No worries, Barry. No worries. Right, let's do a...
I need to slow down to give back the time gained.
So that would have been on for, well, 8:49 flat, maybe. We'll get out and we'll put on a different setup. We'll try something else, shall we? So, let's try that VRS one. That Vidbajik put in here. Race. Yeah, I'll do that so that I can do lots of laps on it. I'm not going to show you that, of course, because it's a paid setup. So, all you can see there is the tyre pressures. Why is it showing BB? Have a quick look at that slide that we had. That cost us a lot of time there. Let's have a look at this. Oh, that caught the end of it, didn't it? Probably not going to look dramatic at all from on board, is it? They're flat out in fifth here, bouncing off the limiter. Use a bit of that, turn in, and I just clipped the curb there and just unsettled it. Yeah, it doesn't look at all dramatic, does it? Let's relive it in the cockpit. It felt more dramatic than that. I thought that was game over for a sec. Yeah, that was nothing, was it? Right, let's head out on this VRS set then and see how good that is. So this is a race setup, so I've got 7.5 laps of fuel. There's Fleming behind us.
Your exit looks clear. Stay behind the line.
coming out? No, he's staying there for a sec. Right, so it's obviously going to be a heavy car to begin with. But hopefully that weight is in the right place. Maybe that's why BB was struggling, because he had all the weight at the front. We'll see. So we're getting session best lap now. So this is a VRS race setup. And I already feel the back end is loose on the brakes. So that's perhaps a brake bias issue. Yeah, I think we're down at 45% brake bias. Whereas I think the the setup I was just using was 45.75. So maybe the brake bias is one of the things we can tweak. Oh yeah, just pivot into the corner there somewhat. Definitely feels more sketchy. But you don't want to judge a car setup based on cold tyres, so we have to get through this, get a couple of laps into it and see what the lap times are showing us. So you're on quali, are you? I'm on the race one, Adam, so mind you, we're different cars, so yeah. Maybe VRS just like to keep that tail happy. We'll try and make this into a longer stint. Still got the understeer building there, had to lift off a bit. That's just the cold tyres, I think. Oh, very, very loose around this bit. Ugh, that's a bit scary. So far, I'm not enjoying this one so much. I've got to remember this is the first time I've driven this car today with a full fuel tank of fuel, and so I believe that means that there is more weight over the front, less on the rear. That might be a case of popping the brake balance a bit further forward. I might as well do that now. While we're on heavy fuel. So I've popped up to 45.75 just to make the front do a bit more. No. Couldn't hold it. Try resetting the car, so I've probably got damage. This does seem less stable. Does seem less stable. And that wasn't a brake balance thing, because that was off the brakes turning in. It's a shame, Fleming. Yeah, have you, Fleming, have you had a chance to try the ones that I put in there, the DC Falcons ones? Oh, Cedric's gone, he hasn't put time in, that's a shame. Hopefully he had fun. It's interesting to see what Cedric was going to do. Also, Fleming, if you're going to stick around and you want to do a bit more, but your mic isn't working on iRacing, we can jump on a Discord if you want. Just let me know. Started with a full fuel DC one, so that was a race to drive GT4. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, don't worry about your pace, mate. It's just whether you feel the front or back end is misbehaving, because that's what BB found. He found the back end was misbehaving, and I can definitely see it with his VRS one. I'll do a few more laps on this though, because I want to see. Alright, catching a bit. Oh, look at that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Scrape of the wall means let's reset again. I'm not sure about this setup, guys. I'm not sure about it. I definitely felt that previous one felt a bit better. The car really does feel like it's floating a lot more. Less stable, and I can imagine it's perhaps even wearing its tyres a bit more, just because it's feeling like it's just floating around a bit. Yeah. But if it's quicker, we have to get used to it. If we can gain a second a lap by using this setup, is it worth it? I mean, if it's sketchy and we gain a second a lap for 20 laps and then bin it and we've got 10 minutes for repairs, it's not worth it, is it? Just how confident we are at actually doing the... well, we'll see how quick it is. We'll see. I'll try and put a decent lap in. But this is full fuel. So we're not going to be, in theory, troubling our best time so far this session. Oh, sailed past that apex. There's some subtle lifts around that bit as always. Yeah, we're not really setting the world on fire in terms of lap time here. Some of that's just literally because the car's heavier on a full fuel, but be interested to compare this to the Damien cross setup that we've already got. Maybe it'll be alright once the tyres kick in. 1.7 seconds down in that first part of the lap though. So once again, for people watching, if you want to join in, you can do. If you've got a GT4 car and the Nürburgring Combined on iRacing, you can join in.
Sector 1 is quick.
You find it under hosted sessions, and the information, password, etc. is in the description for this video. Right, tyres are starting to warm up a bit. The pace is coming back to me a little bit now, so still 1.7 seconds down, but we're not losing more and more and more. With these endurance races, of course, you have more than one driver. Perhaps going to have 4 or 5 drivers in the car. And so we can't each have an individual setup that we like. We've all got to consider them and choose one which we're all happy with. Because although there's some in-car adjustments, there's a lot that you can't change from your setup while you're in the car or while you're during a race. We saw there another example of how I had to really be on the ball to catch a spin before it happened. And over 24 hours, those little incidents all add up. Felt okay around there. There's clearly pace in the car. If this is a setup from VRS, Virtual Racing School, then it's going to be a good one. They know what they're doing. But if it's a bit too sketchy, we'd rather play it safe. Right, let's have another go at this corner, not clip the inside curb. This fast left-hander up here. Yeah, it's alright. It is amazing how much difference a different setup can make to a car though. It feels like I've jumped from a Porsche into a completely different car, like a Aston or a Mercedes or something.
10th in Sector 2.
If Jim's thinking I'm only a 10th down in one sector, that's not bad considering I've got a lot of fuel on board. I don't know where he's got that 1/10 from, because I'm sure I was 1.7 seconds down at the end of Sector 1, and now I'm 2.7 seconds down. A little bit of a lift around that bit there at the top of the hill, just because that's where BB spun it. Missing that apex there. Car was fighting me all the way around there. Don't know if you could see that back end. Grab a drink. Oh no, I've run out of drink. Just habit. Get on Dottager, grab a drink. I don't need one. So if anyone who's new, coming along, expecting a race, unfortunately this isn't a race, this is just testing, just practice, but you can join in as well. The way to do that is explained in the description for this, but this is all ahead of the Nürburgring 24 in May. We're trying to get used to some different setups and just get used to driving the GT4 again around the Nürburgring. So setup I've got on here now is one based on my VRS setup. And currently I don't think it's the best one we've got.
Sector 3 time is fast.
I'm missing apexes with it. I just need to reset. So I've still got 6 laps of fuel on board, so it's unfair to judge it this early in a stint. Hey Russell, feel free to come along if you want, mate. I'm not selling it very well there. How you doing, mate? Right, I think I don't like that setup. In summary, I'm going to get myself a drink, and then we're going to get out the car, we're going to put the DC setup back on, and try that with a full fuel load. So we'll do full stint. Hey, you're right, Russell. Yeah, no, to be honest, I was thinking about coming in anyway and just ditching that setup. I'm just going to grab a quick drink. It's back in just a sec. I literally will be just a few seconds. No. Some budget supermarket own brand non 7-Up. That'll do. Come on, Russell, break out your GT4 and come and see us. Come join us. Oh. Yeah, so we now have the DC N24 one on there. We've got a minute and a half before Adam and Fleming come round, so we'll get out before they come. We don't want to distract them. It's got 7.5 laps of fuel on board now, so again, cold tyres, heavy car. We'll go out and just see how this feels against that VRS one. Maybe I was being unfair on it by judging it on
The pit exit's clear.
On full fuel. But already coming out the pits, I've managed to hit my apexes. Alright, mate. We've still got like over an hour of this session, so... Just adjusting my headphones. Oh, still cold. Still cold, them tyres. Still not flat, even though we were slow. Oh, it's a slowdown. Okay, so there's a slowdown there.
You need to give back the time gained.
Okay, Jimothy.
The guy behind has just done an 8:55.1 seconds.
Nice work from Adam. 8:55. Awesome. Awesome lap. He's actually beating Fleming with that lap. Fleming's been racing Radicals recently, I think. Looking at his Garage 61. This is a very different kind of driving from a Radical. This is about hustling a big heavy car around. Well, it's a bit unfair on the Cayman to say it's a big heavy car, but better a Radical. Maybe it's just because I've driven this setup quite a lot in practice, but I just feel like I'm able to place the car where I want it a lot better. So it feels nice, but if it's slower, it causes a bit of a conundrum. Ugh. Ugh. I felt weird there. That was a bit weird. Oh, no worries, Adam. Fantastic lap time, mate. Good on you. Was that a quali set or was that a race setup? And feel free to come along and like join the team on the Discord as well if you want to chat about joining up. We obviously need some more drivers for the 24 hours of Nürburgring dotted around the globe. It'd be quite handy to have different time zones covered. Right, I've made a few mistakes on this lap, so we're 5 seconds down. It's a bit silly of me because I wanted to do a nice comparison against that previous BRS. Okay, got you, mate. Yep. Fair enough. Ugh. Exactly what I think we'll do. You know, anything to try and stop it killing you. I mean, the Porsche doesn't feel too bad, to be honest. Hello, Kev. How you doing, matey? Nice to see you coming along. But yeah, Adam, 8:55. If you're able to push that out lap after lap after lap, yeah, get in touch, yeah? Okay, tyres are starting to feel good again now. Track temperature's actually still quite low, 67 Fahrenheit. Sun's out. See, I've got onto this DC setup and I've just gone purple through that sector. So that, I think, is an indication that it suits me, certainly. Understood there. Cool, take care, have a good evening, mate. Right, nearly done the outlap. All the fun of this track, eh? Yeah, see, some sectors I'm actually a bit quicker than my quickest so far in this session, even though I've got full fuel. Turning in there was so much easier. Grab a drink. Often during it. If anyone's watching along and can see any stuttering either with the sim or with my camera, if I'm out of sync, that kind of stuff, just let me know. I'll try and watch some of this back after I've done it, just to see if it's all okay, because I'm running maxed out. I maxed out at 119 frames per second on my settings, and it's running 119 frames per second. So I know that the sim's happy, but it's whether the camera, etc., is happy as well. Changed so many things recently since the update. Been working with a lot of the guys in my Discord to try and figure it out. Whatever GT4 you want, mate. Me and the Falcons guys are in the Porsche. But if you want any of them's fine. Just come have a play. Nice one, Doug. Cheers, mate. I know Doug's got my back. He's one of my tech gurus. I'm someone who likes to just be plonked in a car and be told to just drive it as fast as you can. I go, okay. Sorting out graphic settings and stuff like that is... That's the part of racing on a simulator that I need to get better at, basically. I'm not sure if you feel the same, Russell, but often I think I've got it nailed. I go, yeah, this is okay. And then a couple of streams, a couple of videos go really well, and then for some reason something will just be wrong again. Oh, well, what's changed? What's happened there? I haven't done anything. That's the frustrating thing. It feels like you've just constantly got to be on top of it. Well, I am obviously slower than the session best lap, but that was set on this setup with low fuel. So the fuel is a big factor in that, but I feel this is definitely quicker for me than the VRS setup was. So I might speak to Fleming and Baruch and just see how they feel about it afterwards. But this feels more stable, it's more predictable, it's more precise. So it might just be that I'm able to drive it better. It might not be faster. Maybe if I was a better driver, the VRS one would be quicker. But you've just got to admit, sometimes you're not a professional sim racer, so you're not going to extract everything out of it. And around here, for 24 hours around here in a GT4, we just want this consistency and predictability, especially when we're passing other cars or other cars are passing us. I definitely won't be doing the 24-hour race in jeans. I'm wearing jeans at the moment. I think it'll definitely be a shorts race. Kevin's here. Woo! What's he going to bring to the table? What car's he in? Whoa, I missed the apex. Russell, newer tracks cause more issues than big one for me. Yeah, multiple cars. Yeah. A lot more work for the computer to do, I guess, now. Different weather, tempest coming in. Same here. You're more of a donkey, aren't you, Doug? If I remember rightly, a self-confessed donkey. Hopefully you've got a nice setup for the race later, mate. So Doug is racing alongside Rob Steigel, who is a Crash Test Sim Racing. Ominous name, but he's not crashing all the time, don't worry. So Doug and Rob are going to be racing a 3-hour race together in the Damien Cross Scorpions car. So Kevin's turned up in a BMW. Oh, I don't want 6 gear. Using all the track there. Trying to scare my passenger on a track day round here. I couldn't quite get the front end in there. I'm amazed that wasn't a 1X. I'm amazed at that. It's easy to amaze me, clearly. Imagine if I store like a comet or something like that. If I'm amazed by that not being a 1X. I should get out more. Go and look at things like the Taj Mahal or the Grand Canyon or the pyramids or something. Hey Chris, nice to see you here, mate. Oh, that's that front digging into the ground there. So yeah, we're down on the Delta, but you know what? We're only 1 lap into a 7-lap stint, so there's loads of fuel in this car. And that is against the qualifying lap at Delta. Drifto. So I think I'm going to be trying to convince Fleming and Baruch to use this one. So Kevin's out on track now. Kevin in the BMW. Fleming's in the pits. Working on something. Oh, Dottinger. Nearly forgot. Grab a drink. "47 minutes of this session to go. I might just stay on this setup and try and see how it feels for a whole stint. Run a bit deep into there. But another purple sector on that lap. And at that point I'd have had about 5.5 laps of fuel on board. Oh yeah, I am like 8 minutes 50.
Sector 3 time is quick.
A little bit cautious around there, but I think we'll be alright. Couple of tenths down. Whoa, what am I doing? Changing down there. Don't know if it's just me that does that. Sometimes your subconscious takes over and goes, oh yeah, I need to change down here. When you don't do that. Oh, I've run a bit deep there. I I'm not driving very well on this lap so far. Only a tiny lift around there this time. The car's feeling so much more planted. I feel like I could get on the power earlier there as well around that corner. That's helping me all the way down here. So a scrappy Grand Prix loop meant
Sector 1 time's okay.
we were nearly a second down coming onto this bit, and we've sort of maintained that since we've been on the Nordschleife. Oh, where's my second gear? There it is. Traction control kicked in there. Loads of time gain there. Right, managed to not do the same mistake as I did in my quali simulation. I actually got purple around there, so yeah, I am loving this setup. Even there, like I got on the power a bit too early, but because the car felt so balanced, I was able to realise that immediately, just get off the power a little bit and get back on it again. So although I lost a couple of attempts, I didn't spin or understeer into a barrier. I could just recognise it was going to happen straight away. It's that predictability that I like about this setup. Kevin's back in the pits. I wonder if he's had an issue. It certainly doesn't. Is that what you've been driving recently, Kevin? It's a different beast, isn't it? A bit more reserved around here this time. Carry a bit more speed through these apexes. That seemed to work. Okay, okay. It's like this is a different sport. Imagine going from like a Formula car into like a NASCAR. That must be brilliant, the difference. Apex seems to be one that always eludes me. Right, let's not mess it up onto the Dottinger. Yeah, to lift a little bit there. Shame. Okay. Still not a bad lap. Again, just bearing in mind this has got currently got about 4.5 laps of fuel in it. There's a lot of fuel around here. 14 gallons is what it's showing on my black box. So yeah, like having another person sat in the passenger seat really. 14 gallons must weigh, what? I don't know what my maths is going to be like there, 60 odd litres. Hey Kevin, Kevin number 2. Just doing some testing here at the Nürburgring. Feel free to join if you've got a GT4 car and the Nürburgring combined circuit. Just doing a stint on a full fuel setup. So we're now a few laps into that, 3 laps into it, 4 laps to go.
Sector 3 times okay.
There's Fleming. He takes a different line from me around that bit, so he doesn't get the car straightened up as quick as I do. Isn't there like a Kevin Bacon theorem or something like that where nobody's more than a few steps away or a few acquaintances away from Kevin Bacon or something? Oh, okay. Yeah, it didn't change down to second that time, so that's good. So Fleming's 2.8 behind, but he's on an outlap, so we'll have his cold tyres. Let's see if he can stick with us. 6 or 7 degrees of bacon is how it is. I knew someone would know what I was on about, and I'm glad someone did. Right, a bit firmer on the brakes around there to make sure I could get pointed in the right direction before I got on the throttle, and that seemed to work. Alright, Fleming's now 3.7 down. Like I say, he's on cold tyres. I'm not sure how much fuel he'll have on board either. Ooh. Alright, Doug, nice to know, mate. Is it back now? So I'll look into that. About 35 minutes of practice to go.
Sector 1 is quick.
Okay, mate. Thanks for the feedback. Alright, we're up on the Delta. Should gain a little bit here as well if I don't mess this up, because we messed it up on the hot qualifying lap we did. Right, I didn't really want to go into that curb there. Ooh, one thing about just doing laps over and over again at this place, I mean, I've done obviously loads of laps here in the GT4 over the years with the Nürburgring Endurance Championship and practice for the Nürburgring 24 last year, is that my muscle memory for it and my subconscious are doing quite a lot of the work here, which means I can actually talk to you guys and discuss camera settings and things like that. Tornado? Oh my word. My boss lives in New York, and they had an earthquake after the lightning struck the Statue of Liberty, and then an earthquake, and now you've got tornadoes. What's going on? No, 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 no. Ah, that's blown that lap.
Alright, Damo, we need to watch these track limits.
Let's help Fleming catch me. Yeah, shame this is going to be an invalid lap because I think we're doing all right. Hey, Jamie. As long as you've got a cupboard under the stairs, Jamie, to stay safe in. In Missouri, was there? Oh, all right. This is the thing, in Britain we don't really have big natural phenomena like that. We just have generic, dismal, grimy weather. Remember, you guys watching along, if you've got a GT4 car and you've got the Nürburgring Combined, you can come and join me. How to do that is detailed in the description, but basically, find Damien Cross. There's still half an hour of this session to go. Password DC24. At the moment, it's just Kevin, me, and Fleming on track. Ugh. Just testing setups because we'll be doing a Nürburgring 24 in this Porsche Cayman next month. Fleming's just 4 seconds behind us still, so he's found some pace now. I'm not sure what setup he's on now, but he's not letting us get away. It's not a race. We are just testing, but don't want him to catch me, do I? Right, I need to be a bit less throttle happy getting into there. Right, Dottager, you know what to do. refreshment break. Ugh. Responsible parent? Alright, alright. Right, well this lap's not going to count because we had that off track. We'll try again. Starting to get warmer here in the 4X Annex, but I don't want to reach for the aircon just yet because I know it interferes with the sound for you guys when I talk. Alright, so that was an 8:49.6. But with an off track. Ooh, that doesn't sound great, Kevin. Morning, Joe. Are we flat through here now? Just about. Just about. So there's 3 laps of fuel on board now. Hopefully this is a bit of a sweet spot. Might start to feel that front end not turning in. Like I say, if we feel that, then we can start playing around with brake balance, but this isn't a Porsche Cup car, mate. This is a Cayman. I'm not that silly. This is the car we plan to run in the Nürburgring 24 coming up. Why don't you put a sim in the summer house, Jamie? Come on. Let's not have problems, let's have solutions. You imagine how hot it would be having a sim in the summer house. Alright, Fleming's lost a couple of seconds on me through this lap so far.
Sector 1 time's okay.
Oh, my phone's just, my watch is just lit up. Hopefully you can see my heart rate, guys. I don't think it's going to be doing anything too dramatic while we're doing some testing. It's the heat of battle that really gets it going, as we saw at Brands Hatch in the RKTCC. RKTCC! Second race, I think it was, wasn't it, Jamie? No, it was the first race because it was the Grand Prix loop. Last lap of the first race of the RKTCC. Starting to feel the car's a bit lighter now. Joe. My elbows are still sore from all the elbows out. I haven't touched Laguna Seca. I don't really like Laguna Seca, so I've been putting it off. I'm going to have to do something maybe tomorrow. As long as you get plenty of off-track, say Joe. You got to get those X's up. I think I'm near the top of the standards for the bowling ball at the moment, and I need to sort that out. A lot of my incident points, though, are after the race. I just crashed the car afterwards, so I need to just not crash the car after the race. Felt good round there, felt good, felt good. Got a couple of purples on this lap so far. Oh, where are you going? Well, that's not going to help, is it? Oh, Damien. Throwing that away. I lost a second in there. Going on about purples. That's going to help Fleming catch me. He's 6.3 behind now. A bit rubbish around there, lost the 10th again. Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa! There we go. Hey Fleming. Don't mind me. Hopefully I haven't ruined his lap, because I think he was on a good one. Apparently you can't take that curve flat. Let's have a look at what Kevin's done. What's Kevin done? What did he do? He's driving in a BMW, I think, isn't he? Oh, maybe I've missed it. Oh no, that one. Okay. On board with Kevin. Oh, this one. No, you can't take it flat in a GT4. No, no. No, that's not flat. I love it. I love it. Right, where are we? Right, okay, we've only got 20 minutes left of this session. Let's do a quali run then. But I think the problem is when I put my quali lap on, the front end just doesn't bite because the fuel load's not there. So, yeah. I mean, dropping the wing will alter the balance, of course. So I'll get a bit less back end, which will help the front. But I don't want to do that because I think it's going to kill me. I don't want to lower anything because of the curbs. as in like ride heights. So it's all about bump and rebound stiffness, isn't it? So when I'm coming out of a corner, I don't want the front lifting as much. So that's rebound. So it needs to be stiffer. I think the rebound stiffness has to be more on the front. Is that right? So that the front doesn't lift as much? I'm asking you guys. Yeah, I think it is. I think the front, you can feel when the fuel load comes down that the front's starting to get light. ARB probably. Right, let's have a look, see what it says for front ARB. Stiffer anti-roll bar, stiffer effective anti-roll bar. Well, that's no help at all. More understeer. 1 is softest, 3 is stiffest. So the more we put that up, the more understeer we get. I guess is what that's saying. So shall I drop the roll bar down, anti-roll bar down to just 1 then? So that'll be softest setting. We might as well give it a go, mightn't we? We'll try that. Let's head out and just see how this feels.
Retake 6 clear, push.
Yeah, I think with the 99, well, the 911s, the 991, 992, because the engine is so far back and the fuel tank is at the front, you really feel a marked difference. Because the Cayman's mid-engine rather than proper rear-engine, it's not quite so definite. So I don't think you have to make as much of a change. But there's definitely a change. Not as much as the 911s. See how this feels anyway with the anti-roll bar. Because it's not just the brake balance either. It's not when I'm coming into a corner. It's more about when I'm trying to pull out of a corner. Ah, Russell's just joined. So on the exit of the quicker corners, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think the 911-2 is a 992, yeah. It's a 992 generation. There's a 991 and a 992 generation of it. See, I'm already feeling like this is a bit better. So for quali, maybe we need that ARB at 1 to compensate. Right, have a good one, Jamie. I'll catch you on Tuesday night. If anyone's wondering why I'm catching Jamie on Tuesday night, it's the RKTCC. RKTCC. Which I'll either stream or I'll do a video for. But Jamie will be streaming, and hopefully we'll have a broadcast by Comms by Coops YouTube channel. Touring Cars, TCR at Laguna Seca this time. We had to skip Knock Hill, or postpone it to the end of the season, because that was when iRacing was panicking with everybody crashing. Everyone's PCs crashing. And so they did a hot fix just as we were about to head to the track. Well, I could have done with a bit of understeer there rather than oversteer. Let's go again.
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
Well, where am I going? Where am I going? You know what? I'm going to do an actual quali run. I've got 16 minutes. I'm not going to have time to do 2 laps in 16 minutes, but the lap that I start, it will let me finish, won't it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the sneaky trick. So you guys probably already know about the sneaky trick. But if not, I will show you. And we'd only do this in a hosted session.
Watch the white line.
We won't do this on a live session. When actual, real, competitive, paying members of the public are in it. It's just... What am I doing? Why can't I drive this car now that we've dialed out the understeer? I'm not concentrating, that's what it is. Russell's coming. Russell's in a Mercedes. Right. So if you guys don't know, if you accidentally run wide at the end of the Grand Prix loop and then reset your car, it resets you to the start of the Dottinger. So that's what I'll do here. So I should still be able to then get 2 laps in. because the session won't end until we've finished our laps, as far as I know. So Russell's just joined. Russell J. Bright, you'll know as X-Trick Racing on YouTube. And he's incredibly close to having 1,000 subscribers. So if for some God knows why reason you don't already subscribe to Russell, find your way over to X-Trick Racing and help him get up to that 1,000. Fantastic milestone. I imagine pretty much everybody who follows me probably already does follow Russell. Right, so we're coming towards the end of the Grand Prix loop. And we're going to accidentally run wide at the end here. And then reset the car. And then it'll be like a proper qualifying. But, oh no. Right, nobody coming. So I can stop it there. This is why we only do it in a hosted session, because we don't get in anyone's way. Right, so now we should have just over 2 laps of fuel on board. And let's see what we could do as a qualifying setup with the ARB set at 1. I see Fleming's managed to get an 8:51 flat, 8:51.082. So he's now much quicker than Adam was. I think Russell's done the same thing because he suddenly appeared just 19 seconds behind me. Right, so I've not done any kind of leaning on the brakes this time. Not sure how much that's going to hold me back by not getting that extra heat in, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Right, let's see if we can do a couple of laps without any off tracks. Well, late on the apex there. The tyres are still cold, obviously, at the start of the lap. Yeah, Doug. Front anti-roll bar, mate. Like it, like it. Still a little lift needed there, but not as much as normal. Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely more pointy. This is sort of how it feels when it's got that full tank of fuel on board in the race. But yeah, for qualifying, I think this is the route to go. Oh, not quite as pointy as I wanted it. I was asking a bit too much of it there. Asking a bit too much. I did touch the the grass on the entry as well, and maybe that just kind of coated the tyres in a little bit of mud. I lost a lot of time by doing that. But anyway, this is basically the banker lap anyway. Definitely feels better.
Sector 1 time is good.
It's just my driving that's cost us time now. Good through that sector. Purple! We like a purple. So track temp is still really low, it's still 67, so it'd be unlikely to be this low in the race itself, or the qualifying session itself for the race. But we'll take advantage of it, try and get a good lap in. Did I get an off track? I can't remember if I did. I was just slow, wasn't it? I don't think I actually got an off track. No, I was just slow. This lap still will count. Whoa! I got an off track. I jinxed it.
Track limits. This lap will be deleted.
Right, it's all on the final lap then, if it counts. Stay in the carousel this time, Damien. Looks like under relative, Russell's getting caught by Fleming now. 8 seconds between them. Will Russell be able to hold him off? So both Russell and Fleming, of course, are YouTubers. F.Jensen for Fleming. X-Trick Racing for Russell. Give them a follow. Ugh. car feels horrible coming out at the second carousel, doesn't it? Right, there we go. So that lap, because I messed it up, it's not the quickest today, but would have been definitely without that mess up. So this ARB setup 1 is what we'll do in quali. Oh, I see the gap between Fleming and Russell now is just 5 seconds. Not that, you know, for a 24-hour race, qualifying is not that important. It's just, if it can help you be 1 or 2 places ahead of where there might be some carnage, just get you ahead of that. It's worth putting the time in to get a good quali setup. I'm not sure who's going to do quali yet. If it turns out Fleming's quicker than me anyway, we may well get Fleming to do it, or BB, or whoever else joins us.
We're running on fumes, mate.
Okay, Jim. Felt good round there. Yeah, I like this setup. Ugh. That's a bit lively.
The guy behind has just done a 8.50.
Oh, he's done another 8.50 flat. Half a tenth quicker than he's been before. That's Fleming. Okay, see if we can keep that Delta green then, guys. Finish on a high. Tiny, tiny lift. Tiny, tiny lift. Kevin's gone. Cool, cheers Doug. Yeah, I have to try and figure out what that is. It's now going straight into the PC. I did run it through a powered hub, but that seemed to make things worse. And all the YouTube tutorials said to put it straight into the PC. So I've done that. I've gone into a blue USB, a USB 3.0. Maybe I might have a red one that I could put it for instead. Oh, that's all right, Kevin. Yeah, catch you in a bit, Kevin. I think the red ones are even faster than the blue ones, from what I can make out. Oh, it was a mine collapse. Jesus. Yeah, very, very lucky. Wow. So what's mined around there then? What are they actually digging up? Ooh, felt good run there. Yeah, red are higher powered. Yeah, I think I've got one of my powered hubs going into the red, but that's for stuff that it's not critical. So I might swap that out, put that into the blue, and then put the camera into the red. Because if it flashes up saying Elgato, Now that's basically saying the software on my PC, the Elgato software, isn't getting enough signal. Right, hopefully it'll let us finish these laps. Yeah, it's showing us 12 minutes to finish the lap, so that'll be alright. We'll get there, Doug. We'll get there, mate. Appreciate all your help. If all else fails, it'll be a 2 PC setup, but that adds so many extra complications and moving parts into things, I'm trying to avoid it. But the sim seems to have been running really well. I say I know I'm on my own at the moment on track. Well, visually I'm on my own. I know there's a couple of other people on track, but so I'm running really high frames per second. There's no stuttering. I've had no interruptions at all. So I'm really happy with how the sim's running at the moment. So thanks for all your work, and Rob Steigel and Barack Bergman, all these guys and everyone else who's suggested ways that I can make it better without having to lose too much quality. I mean, a lot of my graphics settings are still low, but I really don't think that graphics are the problem now. It's just about this camera. Right, I'm still a second up, even though I was fairly cautious there. Right, let's stay in the carousel, shall we? Is that a plan? Stay in the carousel? That worked okay. Looking good so far, guys. Looking good, looking good. Again, slight tap of the brakes as we go over the crest here. Keep that front end down. Just being a little bit more cautious because I want to bank this lap. As a benchmark for future. Ooh. Lottinger means drink. Get it in ya. Right, I'm losing a little bit of time there. Why are we losing time? What are we doing differently? Was it just a bad entry? Was the setup the anti-roll bar maybe? Meaning the car's at a slightly different ride height or something maybe? No, because yeah, I think that lap was... I don't know. Anyway, nothing to worry about. Let's try and bank this one. We'll just bank it. Right. What's my best ever lap? Let's put that on. All-time best lap. Yeah. There we go. Practice is over. Brilliant. Well, there we go. Bit of a different stream, this one, guys. Bit of a different one. We ended up with an 848.0. Nearly got below the 848. Optimal 845.9. But we tried different setups. So we had different fuel loads, different states of tyres, different lots of things. So optimal was probably a combination of lots of different setups. The 848 flat. Really pleased to see Fleming managed to get an 850 flat as well. So he's definitely nipping at my heels, and he's had a lot less experience than I have here, so he's got pace in him. Good to see, and that was probably not on a quali lap either. But yeah, right, let's get out of the car. Ooh. Are we able to get out of the car? We are out of the car. How confusing, because I've got that view on it. So, we had a few stutters with the camera. So, yeah, overall, guys, could you guys sort of just let me know whether the stream was still watchable, whether you're okay with it, all that kind of stuff. Because I felt like the sim ran really, really well. So if you guys are happy watching it like this with the occasional blip, that's great. We're still trying to improve it by putting it into a different USB port. But that's it. Yeah, thanks to everyone who joined me on track as well. We'll have a look at the final results. So you guys can't see that very well. Oh yeah, you can. I turn off the caps for a sec. There you go. So Cedric, Kevin, and Russell didn't get a clean lap in the end. But the rest of us, yeah, managed to get 9 minutes or lower. No worries, Russell. No worries, Fleming. It's been good fun. I mean, I was going to just do this anyway. I thought, well, I've got a free Saturday morning. I really want to get on top of a setup. So, so that quali, if you didn't see there, Fleming, what I ended up doing was dropping the anti-roll bar suggested by Doug. I mean, we wanted to try and figure out a way to stop the understeer when it was on low fuel, which is necessary for qualifying. So we dropped the ARB to just 1, and that's when I got the 848 there. So that was really good. Graphics look good. Fun stream to watch. Right on, guys. Good to know. Good to know. So I think I'll save that as our qualifying set, but I think from now on, I'm unlikely to want to do much tweak into the qualifying because it's such a tiny part of a massive 24-hour race that as long as we're not way off with our setup, then I'm happy. So I'm going to save that as in the Garage 61 as our actual quali. The DC Falcons Nürburgring 24 quali. So that's there now. Fleming, I'll chat to you at some point about how you felt about different setups. I'm not sure what you tried, what your different fuel loads were. I could see towards the end you were really starting to hook up with the track and get used to it and get used to your lines and everything. So maybe, maybe you've learned a bit there and you have already got a preference on setup, or maybe you want to do a bit more. For me, at the moment, I think the one that's got DC Falcons draft. So if I go in here, DC Falcons draft race full stint, that's the one I'm leaning towards. Yeah, the VRS one, it perhaps is slightly quicker, but I think we're just going to make mistakes in it. So I'm not worried about these VRS ones then. We'll stick with this. So if we want to do all our practicing, if you get a chance to do any more practice, you, BB, anyone else who wants to, who's got access to the Garage 61 Falcons Viper Scorpions, use the DC Falcons N24 draft race full stint. And then we'll just tweak that if it needs tweaking. There might be subtle things that we need to change on it. Yeah, I think that's probably the case, Fleming. If you're happy with the DC one, then we'll just stick with it. So DC quali, I think that's set in stone. We'll have to decide who does quali. Like I say, I'm happy to do it. If you want to do it, then that's fine. But we'll probably figure out near the time who's likely to do a better lap. But no, good. Well, that's it for this stream. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Give it a like if you haven't done already. I hate to plug myself. Oh, I don't hate to plug myself, but always feels a bit weird. But give it a stream. Give it a stream. I can't even talk now. 3 hours at Nürburgring, innit? Yeah, give it a like if you haven't done already. Subscribe if you haven't done already. I imagine a lot of you pop it up in the comments. Obviously, you already have, because you can only leave a comment if you've subscribed. Yeah, I think I know what you mean, Doug, but I think weirdly at the Nürburgring, having that bounce is the lesser of two evils, because you need that with these really high curbs. If you just if you tweak it too much and stop that bouncing, you end up being unable to take some of the curbs. So, but we'll work on that. I'll do as many laps as I can do between now and then, and keep the guys in the loop. But also, obviously, I want to take feedback from Fleming, from Baruch, and whoever else we get on board. To be fair, Adam came along. I did an 8:55. I know he was in a different car, but you know what? If he, seriously, if he could do an 8:55, he's a 1.6k driver. So he might even drop us into a lower split if he joined. But that's seriously respectable time. I mean, I don't know how much he was pushing, whether that's a quali lap or something like that, but 8:55s. If we had drivers capable of 8:55s, yeah, that'd be great. But anyway, I am going to be stopping the stream now. So have a great weekend or week if you're watching this back during a week. Thank you for doing that. I know this was a bit different from a normal stream, and I'm really glad that I tried it. But thank you all for coming along, keeping me company, joining me on track as well. Maybe we'll do this again nearer the time. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get any free time to do that. But I always enjoy hosting and having you guys along. This is a bit like the Red Ken Touring car, not Red Ken Touring car, the Red Ken Track Day that we did recently as well here at the Nordschleife. Catch you later, Russell. Catch you later, Doug. Where it's just like getting out on the Nordschleife and having a bit of fun. So yeah, happy to do it. But I'm going to leave you guys now with a final screen, and I'll catch you on the next one, whether it's going to be I don't know if it's going to be a video or a stream, but it'll be the RKTCC on Tuesday. Catch you there.